Maybe then, only then, I'll address your quest to find the love you set out to chase, to praise the name that which you uphold, and try to survive in this meager world. Find out the truth, and soon you realize what you came here for and what you're trying to find. Was it me you sought the minute that you came, or were you here before in the plight of pains? The women stood around at your footsteps. You could have had them all, but you chose the best. Locked in her room with the keys inside, you knocked on the door, and she replied, Art thou the one whom I seek? Or is thine heart too callous and brittle for me to touch and become enticed with riddles? He did not reply for a minute or two, engulfed in flames, his mind feeling obtuse. He feared the worst was yet to come. Would his love be denied, tossed aside just like all the rest, ostracized? For being himself in the moment and so honest, was it all for naught, all again? Or would his heart be finally caught, but fallen and falling down a dreaded path, encompassed by darkness, filled with wrath? Or was his heart hers to have? Would his trust befall on her and her alone? Would this pain finally be atoned? He knocked on the door once again, all the while his mind still plagued. Hers too was all the same, both enraptured by their fates, not knowing what would come the next time they saw the sun. Still he stood there for her reply. Would she be frightened away, scared by all the secrets he detained? Were they hers to assuage, or be suppressed and kept at bay? On the surface he appeared calm and collected. So much turmoil went undetected, but her eyes seared straight through him. Despite the locked doors being in their path, their connection was still strong, visceral, and intuitive. It dissolved any misconceptions they ever had. Now the time had finally come for them to cross the great big void. Would they both pass the line, or simply abstain and avoid? He knelt down against the door and heard her footsteps on the floor. Closer and closer she came his way, his state of mind becoming more awake. His breath seized in anticipation. Was she still coming in his direction? All of a sudden he heard her sigh, and was struck by pain up against his side. Was this the moment he'd been waiting all along? Would he be her chosen one? And would he be her chosen one? He heard a metal cling against the floorboards, and quickly placed his gaze towards the floor. His eyes filled with tears and glare as he saw the golden key presented to him by the queen herself. Their joyous hearts now began to beat as one, as he unlocked the doors and set eyes on his chosen one. For the choice was as much his as it was hers. Now their voices could finally be heard, attuned to each other, themselves and no other. Their embrace re-energized their souls for 1,000 years and 1,000 more. Their eyes locked in place, all they could see was each other's face. No sweeter sound had they heard before, until they heard each other's voice. Their souls rekindled an old flame, one so strong it could not be contained. Their souls realigned parallel to themselves. Support from one another would do them well. Now their love was all up for the taking. Finally they felt themselves reawakened. Whatever thing may come their way won't have their bond easily swayed. Against all odds they will persist. This bonded pair won't desist. He knocked and knelt on the doors of so many, waiting for his long-awaited reply, until the one came through on the other side. She gave him the golden key and complied. A bond so strong will always stand the test of time. Yeah, so this is more, I don't know, it just seems like kind of like like one of those fairy tale stories. Yeah, that's basically what it sounds to me. And just, yeah, romanticized. Like the back and forth kind of, yeah. It's just more like a story, like of love, or the coming together of two people, but maybe a little dysfunctional. But yeah, it's just, I just came up with it, and I thought, why not share it? So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.